Good morning. Namaste. Just turn off this music. Hope you're all well and enjoying a slightly windy Sunday morning that we have here in the UK in what month are we in now? February 2022. So, welcome to another one of my lives. My name is Mark, and I'm a Buddhist meditation instructor and Dharma teacher. Also, do some chaplaincy work. I work with people across the world, helping them through all of life's little challenges and helping them to fulfill their life's fullest potential. Sounds awesome. I've had the privilege of working with some great people. And I love exactly what it is that I do. So this morning we've got just a quick live. And if you want to leave a comment and join the conversation, you are more than welcome. It's always great to have people part of the live. If you're watching this as a replay, just put hashtag replay before your comment and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. So today we've got a quick 20-minute live here, and I'm going to share with you the secrets that I share with some of the people that I work with about how to deal with negative negative emotions. So the emotions that dwell up within us, what's the best way that we can deal with them? Something really effective, straight to the point, something that you can do anytime that you feel an emotion come up. Now, I do work with a lot of people, as I've said, and what surprises me even today is some people don't realize when they are feeling sad, or they don't realize when they're feeling angry, or they don't realize when they feel happy, bizarrely. But being in touch with your emotions is super important. So I'm going to share with you now 5 quick steps to help you move on when you have these negative emotions. And at the end of this live, as I do with some of the others, I've got a free class place to give away if you live in the UK, more specifically in the central Essex area. I have a free class to give away if you'd like to come along to one of my yoga, meditation, and Dharma classes in central Essex. A little swig of water here. And you can come along to one of those classes if you just enter the hashtag. Now, we all encounter different types of people and situations throughout our life. And some of those people that we meet in our life help us grow. They teach us things. They teach us what not to do, and they teach us what to do. But other people that we come across in our life sadly drain us to the point where we feel empty and we've had the life sucked out of us. Now, how do you deal with these emotions when they come up? How do you deal with some of these negative impacts or negative energies that that occur when we're not with the right people? Now, negative energy can often be verbal and non-verbal. It can be often in what people say or don't say, and it can be often in their actions as well. So negative emotions, of course, can caused by these negative social interactions can make us feel absolutely lost and unhappy. And sometimes, the emotions that dwell up within us are our own responsibility, and we have to learn to deal with them. So I'm going to give you some quick steps here how to deal with negative emotions soon as they arise. How do we regain? The question is here, how do we regain our energy to move forward when we have a negative energy or negative emotion arise? Now, if you're watching this and you'd like to be part, just give me a little message. I'm looking here at a message screen. And alternatively, if you've got any comments about negative emotions or emotions that you have that you find difficult to control or dwell up within you at the wrong time, then I'd love to hear about those. So if you'd like to know a little bit about how to move forward, to hold this spot, and then I'm going to come and give you some answers here. Now, one of the most effective ways to regain our energy when we've been drained or when we've experienced negative emotions, either of our own or of someone else, is to self-regulate. That of course it is, Mark. Of course you have to self-regulate, but how do you do it? A lot of people don't realize will sit there and button their lip, and they'll tie their eyes together and really screw their face up as they try to deal with it. Or in some cases, people don't deal with their negative emotions at all, and that can lead to all kinds of problems. It's really good to identify with your emotions as they well up within you. Now, we've moved on, and we're no longer in an era where we can't say anything, we can't talk about our feelings, and of course, all the negative emotions that we have, it's really good to deal with them, and that just prevents mental health issues later on. It can also prevent self-esteem issues later on. So here we are. Thank you, Facebook user. A great question here. How do we deal with negative? How do you move forward is the question here after a negative time at a meeting? Well, I'm going to share that with you. Okay, how to move on from a negative time at a meeting? Well, sometimes when we're in meetings, that can be especially challenging because you're there, you have all the focus on you when a question is directed at you, or you're expected to deal with an answer, or actually, when you're held accountable for something and someone wants a response from you, or someone wants to take maybe a advantageous stance on something that you're doing by questioning you and calling you out. And that can be really difficult to deal with. Well, I'm going to give you some tips here. It's about what you do before the meeting, during the meeting, and of course, after the meeting. So I talked about self-emotional regulation. And once you get in the habit of doing that, then it's super, super effective. So by training our mind, we can learn to center ourselves. So that's what we're going to do, whether it's in our meeting, before our meeting, or after our meeting. We're going to learn to self-center ourselves internally, irrespective of our external environment. So it's all done here and here. Okay, that's how we deal with the negativity that might be cropping up during a meeting or a life event with a family member or with a friend. Now, through this process of centering ourselves during our meeting, during our negative event, there's 5 steps. Okay, there are 5 steps that you need to have a little chat with yourself about and see if you can encompass them within your repertoire of being human. So what are these 5 steps of centering that are going to help you move forward in the right direction, help you focus, help with productivity, and just bat away those negative emotions? I use meditation a lot. I've been meditating for many years, and I also help I serve others by teaching them meditation techniques to deal with negative emotions or challenges in their life. And negative emotions is definitely high up there on the list. It's more common than what you realize, especially when you consider that every single person deals with negative emotions. And the more regulated ones amongst us can deal with them, but some people can't. And it comes in outbursts of behavior. So an example where emotions get the better of us is we can end up getting aggressive, we can end up shouting, we can end up crying, we can end up very sad and, lose hope, feeling that sense of being forlorn. So by doing these 5 techniques, and here they come, you can, and they're very, very simple. These 5 techniques are going to help you recenter, recalibrate, and refocus yourself during times when you're coming across negative emotions from yourself or others. So here they are. Here are the 5 steps. So I'm going to call them out before I talk through them, which is to stop, identify, feel, talk, and perform. Okay. These are the 5 steps, and I'll go through it again at the end, but in a bit more detail. I'll go through them now. 5 simple steps that you can use to transform any negative emotion or negative experience that you're having, whether they are your own or they're being projected by somebody else. Okay, so if you've just joined us, I've got about 10 minutes left on this little live. I'm going to try and keep them a little bit shorter. My name is Mark. I am a Buddhist meditation instructor, Dharma teacher, and Buddhist chaplain. I work with people across the world, helping them to fulfill their life's fullest potential and to help them deal with life's little ups and downs. And on this episode, we're going to look at 5 very fast, very effective methods that you can use to help you recalibrate yourself, recenter yourself when you're either experiencing your own negative emotions or when you're dealing with the negative emotions of others. How do you transform them? Now, some of us are going to be strong enough to bat them away and not even notice them in the first place. But some of us are very, very sensitive to the words and behaviors of others. And maybe these 5 steps are more applicable to those more sensitive people. And believe me, being sensitive is a superpower because you're more finely tuned in to your environment and what's going on around you. So just to be clear, being sensitive is not a bad thing. It's a great thing. You are more aware of what's going on. So when you notice that negative emotion dwelling up within you, or when you're experiencing negativities from others, the first thing you're going to do is stop. Okay, if you can, stop dead. Okay, now if you're in a meeting, I understand this is going to be a bit more challenging, but you're maybe just going to stop for a second, take a pause like this. Okay, and then you're going to move on. Okay, so stop. That's the first thing. Soon as you realize that you are experiencing a negative emotion, or either of your own or from someone else, the first thing that you're going to do is stop, and don't judge that emotion. Okay, so for example, using breathing exercises, very simple, can help you stop judging a situation when it arises. So simple breathing exercises is to breathe in for the count of 10. I teach this in my classes, or to breathe out, or breathe in for 10 and breathe out for 10, filling the full lung capacity. And there's so much breathing out there. If you've not been to one of my breathing classes, I can absolutely recommend it. They are life changing. But breathing is very, very important. Breathing helps us in ways that you don't possibly imagine, or can't possibly imagine, other than what you already, I'm gabbling a bit here, than what you already know. So breathing is very, very important. So as that negative emotion occurs, either from yourself or from someone else, stop, pause, pause. Okay. Now, a pause of a second might seem like a lifetime, but that pause of 1 second can make a massive difference with how you deal with a negative emotion. Now, I challenge anybody who tells me that they cannot pause for 1 second. Okay, so this is what I teach. Negative emotion dwells up within you. You're experiencing negative emotions from someone else. Stop for 1 second, because that makes all the difference. Now, in that 1 second, what I'm going to ask you to do really is just focus on your breathing. Put all your focus and your attention on your breathing. Now, 1 second isn't long, but it is long in these circumstances. Emotions are very, very fast. And the gift of a second can make all the difference with how you deal with it. So, negative emotion dwells within you, or you're experiencing it from someone else. Stop. How are you going to do that in a meeting? There you go. There's a second or two. Or if it's your own emotion, then time is your own luxury. Just have a second or two and focus just on the immediate breath that you're having, or the next breath. The second thing that you're going to do is to identify, okay? So you're going to identify what that emotion is. And what that does is that allows you to separate yourself from that emotion rather than being consumed by it. Now, at the beginning, I talked about people who don't understand, or are not able to quantify when they feel sad or happy or angry or forlorn, but most people can. So stop, take a breath. Next thing you're going to do is to identify what it is that's happening. What is that negative emotion that's taking place? Is it anger? Is it frustration? Is it that you feel marginalized by someone else? Okay. What is that negative emotion? Identify it and realize that it's separate to you. It's not who you are. It's just what you're feeling. Okay. So I know this, if you get in the habit of doing this, it becomes very, very simple to carry out. Step one, stop. Give yourself 1 second. Okay. Then you're going to identify the emotion that you're experiencing. Is it, do you feel angry? Do you feel sad? Is someone projecting to you? Is someone making you feel marginalized? Is someone making you feel uncomfortable? What is that emotion? Then you kind of need to distance yourself from it. Now, all this is going to happen very, very quickly. I've broken it down really slowly, but it's just 5 simple steps. And what you're going to want to do for some people, what they will do, or I help some people say, give your emotion a funny name. Okay. So if you have said something that you wish you hadn't as a result of your emotions, or if someone has said something, then, I use the word orcs, as in awkward. It's like, oh, orcs, that's an awkward moment. Or one of my clients says emoji smile, that kind of false smile when they deal with a really negative emotion. Or another person I work with says washing machine thoughts. Now, this sounds super simplistic, and it needs to be, because if it's too complicated, it's going to be super difficult to deal with. So when that emotion dwells up within you, give it a funny name, give it a code name, identify what it is. So when it comes in the future, you're able to deal with it. So a lot of these emotions, they're repetitive. You have them all the time. So the faster that you can take stock of your emotions and which ones that come up within you quite frequently, the easier they're going to be to deal with in the future. And giving them all a really funny name, orcs, emoji smile, awkward, washing machine thoughts, can be very, very helpful for some, and for others, not. Okay, so it's just an additional tip there. Identify your emotion and give it a code name. Okay, the step number 3 is to feel the emotion. Okay, paying close attention to where you feel that emotion in your body. Is it in your upper chest cavity area? Is it in your arms, back of your head, behind your eyes, in your jaw? Normally, when you have a strong emotion, or you're dealing with a strong emotion from others, you feel it somewhere in your body, in your head, maybe in your arms, in your fingers. Does it make you jolt? People deal with emotions in a whole variety of ways. And then what you're going to want to do is just feel that negative emotion for a second, and then just kind of stay and observe it. So I'm going to go through this again at the end really slowly. In more succinct wording. But ideally, you're going to want to feel the emotion, feel where it is in your body, and then you're going to just identify slowly with it. Now, step 4 here, dealing with negative emotions, is to talk to yourself and understand why that emotion came up within you. Why did you feel angry? Why are you feeling upset? There's an old phrase, that old English phrase, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words cannot hurt me. Invariably, it's words that upset us and make us feel negative, or are the source of negative emotion. So, it's a word, it's a sound. If someone says something that you don't like and it upsets you, it's a sound. Why is a sound upsetting you? Here it's a Sunday morning, I can hear the church bells. And of course, when you hear church bells, that invokes another certain response within you. But it's just a sound. Okay. As soon as you identify that it is just a sound, then it becomes a lot easier to deal with. Understand the emotion. Now, you might not be able to do that at the time the emotion wells up within you, or when you're dealing with it. But after, through introspection, you can look at why that feeling has made you feel. Why did you feel angry? Why did you feel awkward? Why did you feel negative? Why did you feel? No one should feel marginalized this day and age, but they do. And invariably, you can do something about it by identifying emotions that dwell up within you. And of course, good morning to you too, Joanne. Lovely to see you. Okay, namaste. So we're talking here about the 5 steps for dealing with negative emotions. Number 1, stop. Take a split second. Understand what's going on. Take a breath. Number 2, identify the emotion that's dwelling up within you. And what is it doing to you? Give it a funny name if that helps you understand the emotion that you're experiencing. Number 3, pay attention to where you're feeling that negative emotion. Is it making your shoulders crunch up, your neck? Do you feel like you're shrinking? Or that's a common one. Actually, I feel like I'm shrinking. I feel this big. You hear people say, which of course is not true. It's all happening up here, of course. But by being able to identify that is really empowering. Number 4, talking to that emotion. Okay, why did it come up? Why is it happening to me? And then when you realize why it's happening, then you can put in place actions to deal with it. So number 5, I call perform. Do the positive thing that's going to get rid of that emotion. So if suppose you're working from home in your home office, or you're doing some housework, or you're doing something at home, you suddenly have a trigger, something dwells emotion up within you. You're going to take a second there. Just stop, take a second, deep breath, identify what that emotion is, where it's happening within you. Give it a name so you can identify it for the future. Feel where that emotion's hurting you, where it's causing you any pain. Is it in your chest, in your arms, in your mind? Number 4, if you get the luxury at the time of being able to talk to that emotion in terms of, what can I do to pacify it? What can I do to counteract it, to rebalance myself? Then that's awesome. You might want to do that after the event. And of course, number 5, perform. What is the action that you can take to null that negative emotion? Now, I've got a couple of clients who do things, some very wacky things. I've got a list here of the stuff that they do. One of them goes for a run. Another one does dancing around the house. You know who you are. Thank you for that. Dancing around the house for 10 minutes. Someone else does wood chopping. But they all help, okay? So when you have that negative emotion, stop. Take a second. Identify what that emotion is. Give it a name so you can help in the future. Feel it. Talk to it and understand why it's making you feel the way that it is. And then take and perform the respective action to kind of get rid of it. And you know what? As soon as you get into dealing with emotions in these 5 steps, you soon have them very quickly under control. But the problem is no one ever shares with us, do they, how to deal with our emotions. It's, oh gosh, can't talk about your emotions, very taboo. No, can't display your emotions. Very tough for men, actually. Any guys out there? Very, very tough for men to change their frame of mind to be able to talk about their emotions. A lot of guys, it starts at childhood. Boys don't cry, grow up, be a man, all this stuff, not helpful, really, really not helpful in an ongoing sense. Sometimes we do want to, help our children become a little bit stronger to the world around them by telling them to collect themselves. But, saying things like don't cry or don't show your emotion isn't happy. If there's an emotion there, my best advice is let it out. Better out than in, I always say to people. As soon as you start trapping emotions in your body, then you start getting other problems a little bit later. This is my experience working with people over many years. So let the emotion out, and you can do that. You can deal with the emotion, not by hiding it, bearing it, and forgetting about it, but by doing these 5 very quick steps. Stop, take a breath, identify what the emotion is, feel where it's having an impact in your body, have a chat with it and say, what do I need to do to get rid of you? How can I get rid of this feeling of anger very quickly? Okay, yeah, I'll go for a run. I'll go for a walk. I'll chop some wood. And it's very, very effective. But I hope, excuse me, you have the opportunity now to just do these 5 little steps next time you have a emotion dwell up within you, or you're experiencing negative emotions from others. And you know what? If you're in an environment where you're experiencing a lot of negative emotion, then you've always got the option of removing yourself from that environment. If it means going outside for 2 minutes or walking away and doing something else, you don't have to. You do not have to keep yourself in the same space as a negative emotion you're experiencing. Walk away for a minute, 2 minutes, then you can come back when you've collected yourself, when you've dealt with it. But better to take a pause, better to take yourself somewhere else for a minute or two and deal with a negative emotion rather than get embroiled within the drama that it can sometimes create. There's enough drama in the world at the moment. So, if you can help yourself by slowing down a little bit, then that's going to be great. So I hope this has helped. Getting some really great feedback from people about these little mini lives I'm doing, helping you, serving you, supporting you with little tips that I've used with people I work with around the world to help them become the very best version of themselves. 5 steps for dealing with negative emotions. Stop, take a pause, identify what the emotion is, feel it, where is it in your body, have a little chat to yourself. Why do you feel angry? Why are you feeling sad? And then, of course, perform the necessary corrective action. Take yourself out the environment for a few minutes, or if you need to go and chop wood, do some bouncing, clean windows, something safe, then that is a great solution. And the more times you do this process, this 5-step process, the more times that you're going to be on top of your emotions rather than your emotions dictating to you what you're doing. So there we go. Hope that helps. A great help for some, maybe not for others, but sharing my experiences and the things that I help people with in these small lives. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And if you're watching this as a replay, you can just put a hashtag replay there on the bottom, and I'll speak to you again soon. In fact, I'm going to do another live on the benefits, the extra benefits of meditation that are not so commonly spoken about, which is a follow-up from my last live that I did. So I hope you have a great day. Nice to speak with you all. And I look forward to chatting again. So next live Monday evening. If you're watching this as a replay, more benefits of meditation. Okay, thank you very much. Namaste. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye for now.